Arrow Season 4, Episode 4, Beyond Redemption. This is a pretty cool episode. I think it was really nice that they didn't hold off forever on the whole reveal to the other characters that Lance was actually working with Damien Dark. And although we don't really get all of the characters figuring out this secret, we do have at least Felicity and Oliver. So they know. I feel like that's going to have to lead to the other characters finding out eventually, and especially with the stuff that's going on with Sarah, Laurel, I feel like is going to have to find out somehow as well, even though they kind of confronted that in this episode alone, where Lance does end up going to Dark, and he's like, how do I save my daughter? Even though that technically passed, I feel like there's still going to be some way where Sarah finds out, or Laurel finds out, like, you've been working with this villain, and you've been doing it for months now. We've basically been working on opposite sides when you really think about it, because you're working with the guy and I'm working against him, trying to take out all of his high-powered goons. So I'm looking forward to that confrontation, because I'm sure it's going to happen. And of course, with them having a family member officially brought back from the dead, like, this is someone that wasn't just lost and kind of dead. This is like 100% they know that she's dead. Now that she's back to life and in a crazy mode, that's just a whole new element to add to the issues that they're having right now. So I'm kind of looking forward to that happening, but it's not gonna last too much longer because the preview has Constantine for this week. So I'm really looking forward to that. Like, I know this review is basically a week late, but I was just so busy, I just couldn't do it. So doing it now, and that's why I'm actually really excited that it's not too much of a wait to do it, to see the next episode at least, because I've been waiting for Constantine ever since I found out he was going to be in it. I was like, I just want to see Constantine in an episode because that is freaking awesome. And we sadly don't have Constantine anymore. I wish I could be reviewing Constantine Season 2 right now, because I loved that show when it was on, and I didn't know anything about Constantine, and that show gave me stories about Constantine. I was like, this is actually a really, really awesome show. And sadly it got canceled, and I'm still a little mad at CW for not picking up such a cool show, but they made that decision, whatever. But at least we're going to get him in the next episode, so I'm looking forward to that. Plus that's going to lead into Sarah being like, normal again, and who knows how that's going to affect the show, because we're still got like the whole Legends of Tomorrow thing, but leading up to that, I don't know what to really expect for all of our heroes from both Flash and Arrow. There are people that are going to be in this new Legends of Tomorrow TV show, and it's kind of just like, what journey are they going to go on before that new show? So it has me really curious, like, what role Sarah's going to play once they officially cure her, which obviously is going to lead to, Oliver was the one that called Constantine, so he's going to find out. I'm assuming the rest of the group is going to find out in the next episode as well. But it was cool to, that's going to be taking place. They aren't really holding off on that forever. They've taken their steps. It was like she was brought back. Laurel was like, Dad, here she is. He went to Damien Dark. He was going to kill her in this episode because it's not really his daughter. And then, boom, she's escaped. And I was like, crap, we got to figure out what the heck to do. So I like that they're kind of advancing that storyline so quickly. And it's just really fun to watch that take place. And then basically next episode she's cured. So we've had like 2 episodes of her. We had the revival episode, which, if I remember right, was like at the end of that episode. Then we had like 2 episodes of her alive, and now we got this. So I'm really looking forward to what they're going to be doing with the next episode. This one was a nice step in like the sort of new version of Sarah's storyline, where she is brought back home. Lance finds out. Lance has to kind of deal with trying to save his daughter, and ultimately his decision, because this, coming from Damien Dark, his decision is like, I have to, kill my daughter because it's not really her. So I love that. I like how that kind of played out, and I'm looking forward to the stuff that happens between Laurel and Lance, because she's going to find out that he's working with Damien Dark. Like, I'm pretty sure all the secrets are going to come up once it's like, oh, Sarah's actually been brought back to life, my bad. And then, Oliver probably wouldn't do it because it's Oliver. He tends to keep all the secrets no matter what. But that would be the perfect time where it's like, sorry, I brought my sister back. I know it's crazy, but it's my sister. And then he just jumps in like, well, your father's also working with Damien Dark, just to Yeah, put that out there. I doubt that'll happen because that would just make things worse. Um, but it could. I don't know how it's going to play out, but it certainly could. Um, of course, Oliver finding out about Lance working with Dark was definitely cool. Like my favorite scene was, of course, when he was just in the house, and because it was, of course, the second time, and Lance comes in like, is this just how you do things? And they have a really great conversation. And I thought it was actually pretty amazing. And my favorite part out of everything that was said was when Oliver was like, I kind of ran for mayor because of you. Part of the reason was because I wanted to show you that I could actually be a great guy. Like that, I wanted to show you the the good person inside of me that you never really got to see. Like my full potential as a good human being that you never really got to experience. I wanted to show you that because it made a difference, and I wanted to become more like you. And I thought that was actually really cool. He was kind of a father figure, but at the same time, he was just sort of a goal to reach. He was like a standard that Oliver put himself to. And he said what I've always said, where it's like Lance was always the person where it's like he might not be like perfect, but he was the guy where it was justice above all else. And, it was like justice and good. So it was kind of cool to hear Oliver say that himself, and then you kind of have to deal with what he knows now with him working with Damien Dark. It's like you're not the guy I thought you were. So that was actually pretty cool. We officially got the answer as to how everything worked out, and basically it was just like Damien came in as a good guy, and that's all there was to it. He came in as a good guy, and then it was kind of in too deep a little bit, and then once Lance wanted to back out, Laurel Laurel was used as leverage, which doesn't surprise me. Simple answer, and it makes perfect sense. It was like he was in too deep, then it's like, oh crap, this guy's a bad guy. I'm going to take him down, and now I can't because he's threatened my daughter. So he's caught in a loop, family thing. It's very easy. That's a very easy way to be a villain, where you come in with, you trick everybody, and then it's like, I'm just going to threaten your family members and continue to be evil. So works perfectly. We'll see how that plays out, because of course they're going to defeat Damien by the end of this season, of course, because it's a TV show. They're going to defeat the villain. But I thought it was cool. It was nice to get that answer. I love that conversation between those two characters. The main story in this episode was also pretty cool, because we have the anti-vigilante task force, which we find out is actually still very active and had a ton of members. I think they mentioned, he said like 30,000 members or something crazy like that. So we get them coming in. In the beginning of the episode, they come in, they're like the fake SWAT team, and they kill everyone. And what was funny when I was watching that, as soon as that happened, I was like, it would actually be a really good ploy to come in as like a fake SWAT team and then kill everyone and, be all, decked out and geared up, and then just take off like nothing happened. And then that ended up being exactly what was happening. I thought for sure it was just an actual thing. And I was like, it would be pretty cool to actually do that, because it would be easy to get away. And then I was like, oh, that's actually exactly what's happening right now. So I thought that was kind of funny. Oliver almost got killed in this episode because the woman, the little blades that she had, when she like threw one in at his spine, and she could have moved it and severed his spinal cord. So that was pretty crazy. I was like, he actually almost lost to somebody, even though it was because he was talking to Lance. But it was pretty cool. Like, he wasn't exactly able to take these people down like he normally could. She had like the gauntlets on and stuff, and she, they had some serious training. So it was actually kind of cool to watch them be sort of on the same level as Oliver as far as fighting and stuff like that. And they had all these, crazy little weapons. They had like, the little blades and stuff seemed to be like her main thing that kind of helped her out when you think about it. Though that seemed to be like her ultimate defense. Like, once the guns kind of failed and stuff like that, it was like she would just do the little knives, and then she would always either escape or get one up on Oliver. So I enjoyed that. I thought the little task force was definitely really cool. Like, their skills and how they operated and how they did things, and their plan was really just to get a bunch of money and get the heck out of town, and that was it. They don't kill people. They don't actually, rob good people. It's sort of a Robin Hood sort of thing, except they didn't give the money to the poor. They just kept it for themselves. So, like stingy Robin Hood a little bit. Not even that, really. They just stole all the drugs and then sold them back. So it was not even remotely Robin Hood. They're just actual thieves selling. They're basically drug dealers at that point. That's technically what they were. So it was still really fun because I thought that was a very cool case that they had. It was like they're actually dealing with the police, and then of course Lance finds out like these people definitely are police, like for sure. They didn't just like steal the gear, which is what I thought for sure. Like they easily could have just stolen that gear. They don't actually have to be a part of the force. And honestly, that was the one thing that kind of bothered me was the fact that when they found those vests and stuff, the fact that it turned out to actually be cops made me a little mad because it was like, how stupid can they be as like the special ops, anti-vigilante task force cops to just leave the emblem and stuff all over the vest. Like, just rip that off. Just, like, let's just tear this off. And now it's just a black vest that has nothing on it. And it's very simple. Because it's not like it mattered. I mean, they went into the drug den in the beginning of the episode. It didn't matter if they were SWAT. Like, the people pulled guns on them and they still had to shoot them. It wouldn't make a difference. So, it's not like they needed that to really hold people up or anything. I'm sure it helped in, like, some minor cases, but ultimately it was just like it's kind of stupid that they actually left that on there. I thought for sure when Oliver found like the vest with the letters for the department on it, I was like, okay, so these are bad guys that somehow got the vest, and they're making it seem like there are other cops doing it. They're just highly trained, but they're just making it seem like they're part of the police. And then when Lance went on that mission with them, he was like, no, those are definitely cops. I was like, well, that just makes it sort of stupid. Like, they have all this insane training and stuff, and they just didn't think, like, let's rip off the letters that say exactly where we got this stuff from and exactly who we are, and then that turned out to be exactly who they were. That bothered me a little bit. Like, that's like number one thing you do. Get rid of any identifying tags. And it's just like, well, that was really stupid to me. But that was like the only real thing that bothered me in these episodes. Like, oh, they're actually cops, and they just left everything on their bulletproof vests and all that stuff. So I was like, alright, that doesn't make any sense. If you're going to be like mastermind criminals, you don't just leave the letters of your police station right on the front, the very front of your vest. So that bothered me, but I certainly enjoyed this episode. I still thought it was really fun. It was great. Like I said, I think my favorite scene was the Oliver Lance talk after Oliver found out that they were dealing with Damien Dark. That was definitely my favorite moment. I thought it was really cool to get that dialogue from Oliver, where he talks about how Lance was sort of his set standard for being like a really good person. That was a really cool scene. The flashbacks were okay. I mean, the flashbacks really haven't done too much. They've hardly even tied into the episode, admittedly. Like, all that happened in the flashbacks was he did that crazy little move where he makes people seem like they're dead to kind of prove that, he fit in with the people, and that was about it. So that's all that really happened there. He helped the woman, and he's like, we're gonna work together to try to save everyone. And he gets busted because the guy found the little computer, and that's about it. So not too much is happening in the flashbacks just yet. Like, it's been a couple episodes, and really all that's happened is Oliver has either saved somebody or killed somebody with a mine. So we'll see how that goes. I'm sure the next person he kills won't be with another mine, which I would love it if every episode was like, how does he keep killing people with all of these mines? Like, the minefield would be empty by the time the season was over. But I'm looking forward to where it's going to be headed, because right now it just seems very simple, but I know it's going to have to lead into, I feel like this has to be where he learns all the mystic stuff. So that's what I'm really looking forward to, because otherwise it's just him dealing with, drug dealers, which could be interesting, but I feel like it wouldn't make sense that the flashback doesn't end up going into the mysticism and stuff, because the very first episode when he saw Damien Dark, it was like, holy crap, this isn't superpowers. She's not a metahuman. This is mystical stuff. So looking forward to that once the flashbacks really get going. But for now, they've kind of been like so-so. Like, they've still been entertaining just to see what they show and how the story progresses as far as the flashbacks. Oops, sorry about that. But not much has really happened in them, so I'm kind of just looking forward to like the next big thing. And I think the next episode should be kind of entertaining, because now that the guy kind of has proof with the little computer setup, it's gonna be a little harder for Oliver to avoid dealing with them, although I'm sure he'll find a way and it'll go back to normal somehow. But I still enjoyed it a little bit. I'm just waiting for him to really pick up with the flashbacks. Everything else was pretty fun. We got a pretty cool side story with Felicity when she finds out that there's like a last message from Ray, which she does end up listening to by the end of the episode, and they do kind of talk a little bit more about it, like, oh, this the code that's messing up your phone is also tied to the prototype hand that's left over from Ray Palmer's the shrinking suit, the Atom suit. So that just kind of confirmed it, really, like, oh, for whatever reason this code is connected, and it's of course because it's him. And he's not in her phone, which is something, it makes more sense now, because I was like, it would be weird if he was in her phone, but now it makes more sense. He's inside of the hand somewhere, and he's sending signals to her phone to try to get help while he's stuck inside the hand. So looking forward to however they end up getting him out of that thing. But it was a pretty good episode. I definitely enjoyed it. The action was pretty cool. I like I said, I really enjoyed the fact that the cops were sort of a match evenly for the rest of the team. That's always pretty entertaining to watch them have to actually struggle, especially Oliver, because Oliver's the one where it's like other people can struggle a bit, but Oliver is just like, block and counter, and everyone's down already and everybody else is still dealing with people. So it's nice to see Oliver not just go in and like one hit everybody and just walk out like it's nothing. He took some hits. He had to really struggle with some people. He was almost completely taken down when he got distracted by talking with Lance. So it was pretty cool. That was another one of my favorite elements from this episode. But I do want to know what you guys thought about it, so please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts, and how do you guys think things are going to play out when the rest of the team figures out that Lance has actually been working with Damien Dark. Because for Oliver, I'm sure he'll keep the secret, because like I said, I highly doubt he'll just be like, once he finds out the Sarah stuff, he'll be like, oh, well, I have this secret too, because that's not even close to what Oliver does. But, I don't know, it seemed interesting. Like, Oliver's reaction, he still wants him to just help out. He doesn't want Lance to, of course, turn himself in. But he's kind of just keeping things normal, going the normal set of pace. He needs his help as mayor. He knows that Lance is still a good guy. I totally skipped over the fact that they have a new base now as well, which was really awesome. I didn't see that coming. But they took over Brother Blood's base, which was really, really cool. And working out some kinks, that seems like it's going to come back to bite them. It already started to, because things are just shutting down at random. So I feel like that's going to come up again, and it's going to be like a really, really big issue. And it could like possibly get some people killed or something. Like, it might not end up being that bad, but I don't know. I feel like that'll take place, and it'll become more important as time goes on, and it'll somehow get worse. But I want to know what you guys think is going to happen once the rest of the team figures out Lance's secret, and just how they're going to react to that. Because obviously with Sarah and Laurel, that'll probably be the biggest issue. Most likely with Laurel, because Sarah's like, just coming straight into things. It'd be like, oh, Dad, that really sucks. But with Laurel, it's like, I've actually been fighting these people for months now, and you've just been helping them. Pretty much, like, here and there, he has been helping them. So it should be interesting. But like I said, I want to know what you guys think. So please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.